Alright, good evening everyone, and welcome back to another test video. This time we have software update 2018.28.1, and yeah, let's see what this software brings us today. Alright, and the first thing that we are seeing is, whoa, a lot more phantom braking in this version. So the car was braking for the parked car back there and not for those that we just passed on the right here, which is very odd. Now, on the other hand, it does slow down to 50 kilometers an hour in the 50 speed limit section. Again, it does that too late because you already passed the sign, because it still can't read speed limit signs. It's only based on GPS, and it's not that accurate in the database as well. But yeah, it does slow down to 50 instead of 60 because in the previous two updates we got, for some inexplicable reason, the car in AutoPilot, if you went 70 and it came to a 50 section, then it slowed down to 60, not just 50. If you were if you're doing 90 kilometers an hour, it came to a 70 kilometer an hour section, it was doing 80. So that's weird. But yeah, anyway, in the meantime, so that's been fixed now, and in the meantime we're at the hill section. So let's see how the car reacts to this hill section here. Oh, at the top, yep, going dead straight, no problem there. Oh, and let's see how it reacts to that car that has stopped. It doesn't seem to react to it at all, which is also good. So yeah, that's a slight improvement there. Same here. Let's look at the hilltop again here. Does it react? Nope. And it actually goes straight on, which is exactly what I would expect it to do. So yeah, that's a good part. So now we're coming up to that intersection where it sometimes doesn't quite know what to do and goes a little bit left or right, but let's see how this update takes it. Yeah, the line widens a little bit, but the car actually stays in a straight line, which I think is a little bit better than before, but I'm not sure. I think it's more or less about the same, maybe a little bit better, but not really noticeable. Also, we still don't have auto lane change on this kind of roads. So on secondary roads there's still no auto lane change. So please, Tesla, there's no reason we should not be able to do that on secondary roads. So bring back the auto lane change for AutoPilot 2, because AutoPilot 1, as I've shown earlier in the video, can actually do that. Okay, coming up at the dreaded right-left turn. So if we can clear some cars here. Oh, what was that guy doing? So yeah, have to intervene here. Trying again. It's going outside of the lanes. Yeah, I can actually feel that I was driving in the gutter there, and here again it goes over the line. So this result, even though it braked a little bit for the other car, but this result is pretty consistent, I've noticed. And for me, this is the worst that the car has taken it so far on AutoPilot 2. It's just, it's not just a step back, it's like 3, 4, 5 steps back in the way it handles that section. So for me personally, this makes this update the worst one we've got in, let's say, since the one we got in February. where they did the complete overhaul of the AI behind it. But yeah, that's definitely not good. Now for the auto lane change. So as soon as the car starts slowing down, here we go. I put the auto lane change on. It keeps slowing down, more or less the same speed. And then it only starts accelerating once you completed the maneuver, which is still something, I've mentioned it a couple of times, which is still something that I would like to see changed, because you want to merge into faster traffic. I tried to do that like 2 minutes before as well, and there was a guy coming behind me and he didn't want to change his lane. He could have moved over to the third lane and allow me to cut in, but he just didn't want to do that, and he blocked me from getting into that lane. The good thing about that maneuver was that the car actually detected, so it started the lane change, but then it detected that the car was coming next to me, and then it just canceled the lane change on its own. So yeah, that's a good safety feature, but that's not really a change in view of the previous update. Another thing that I find funny, and not a good point actually, is that here I can do 70, so the car says I can do 70. I'm on autopilot. We are coming up at the 50 sign, and watch what happens is that the car recognizes the 50 sign based on GPS, but it does not slow down autopilot to 50 at that point, so I have to slow down myself. As you've seen earlier in this video, on the other occasion he actually did slow down to 50. Now it doesn't. I have no idea why it doesn't do that, so that's some kind of weird behavior. It used to work there until like I think the previous update actually screwed that up also, but the ones before, they did that just fine. So yeah, that's also a negative point. Maybe not necessarily for this particular update, but for the last 2 updates at least. And here we're coming up to that lane shift that I've tried so many times already. There's a truck parked there, so it might brake for that. Let's see what it does. Yep, it started braking, so I'm going to accelerate again, and let's see how it handles that. Yeah, that's like a couple of updates ago. It takes the inside corner and then clips the apex, so to speak, on both sides, which gives a little bit more confidence. But in the previous update, it didn't brake for that truck. Somehow it knew that it was not in the path, but now again it thinks it's in my path. So yeah, unfortunately it is braking for that truck again. So yeah, that's a regression bug. Okay, so conclusion time. What do I think about this update? Well, it's a couple of things I have to say. First of all, I also had to reboot the main screen or the center screen several times because the browser was not responding anymore. So you could enter a URL or pick one of the favorites. You would select it, and then it just did nothing. So I had to reboot it like 3 or 4 times before it actually started working, and still have to reboot it almost every time I want to use it, and then it keeps working for that specific drive. So as soon as the car turns off, something goes wonky with the browser. So that's also a negative point. The fact that it takes that S-curve the way it does now, it's as I said, it's not 1 step back, it's like 5 steps back, and it's the worst that I've seen this car handle that section ever since AutoPilot became available there. So we've had better, so hopefully Tesla will fix that and we get an update that will get back to at least the previous level, maybe even better, where it handles it the way like AutoPilot 1 does it. So people from Tesla, if you're listening to this, this is one you should really get fixed pretty soon to move along past AutoPilot 1 with the AutoPilot 2 hardware. What else? We got additional phantom braking, and I've noticed that on highways as well. When you cross or when you pass underneath a bridge, somehow it sees a shadow as a car and then it starts braking again. We've had that before, but now it has regressed into the algorithm again, so that's also a bad point for this update. Good point for this update is that finally the problem with the speed limit has been fixed. So it now does the actual speed limit that it recognizes, but as you saw in an example, in some cases it doesn't adjust to that speed limit, probably because of some setting in the database that's not correct, but it used to do that before. Now it doesn't do that anymore. So again, Tesla, please fix this. So yeah, for me personally, I have to say this update is the worst one I've seen since the one that Andrej Karpathy was talking about the whole rewrite. I think it was like mid-February or something, if I remember correctly. But that one was a good update. We saw some decent improvements there. We saw some gradual improvements since then, and now we're regressing to before that part. So for some reason, this is now happening, and I hope they can fix it really soon. So yeah, as always, if you like my videos... Wait, Steven, you're not done yet. You forgot about the biggest one, which is the Traffic Annihilator, which is a brand new feature on the Tesla. Let me show you what I mean. So if you look at the map, you get the online traffic that is being displayed with the yellow and the red indicators there. Now let me take a big part where there is traffic. So let's go to Brussels, right? So there's always traffic here. But right now there's a new button. Well, actually it's an existing button, but it annihilates all traffic. So let me press this one, and then we press it again. Ta-da! All traffic is gone, and we can drive freely around the Brussels ring. Now, all kidding aside, this is really an issue, another one, because the traffic information is not updated as expected. So I use that a lot, even more than what the navigation tells me. So I use that on a daily basis. I see which road is busy, which road is clear, and then I have several options to do my commute to work. But yeah, right now that's an issue. So every time I want an update, I have to turn off traffic, turn it on again, and only then it updates, because otherwise I'm thinking the road is clear, but there's traffic, or I'm thinking there's a lot of traffic, when in fact, like you see now, the road is indeed clear. So Tesla, again, please fix this one. In the meantime, I've already heard that 2018.28.5, I believe, is rolling out as a bug fix. Maybe that will solve some of the problems in that I mentioned in this test. Let's hope. But yeah, I'll just have to wait and see when I get that update to verify that. But yeah, as always, if you like my videos, please subscribe to the channel by clicking on the subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that little bell icon so you don't miss out on any videos. And for now, thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Bye bye.